East of the Black Hills, the Great Plains roll across South Dakota, creating ideal whitetail habitat and a supreme hunting opportunity for host Ron Spomer.
There's one right over there.
Oh, he looks pretty heavy.
4x4 heavy beams. Yeah, he's working his way over this way.
Yeah, he's playing the game just the way we want him to. He's gonna come right down below us. If he comes in that opening in the trees right down there on the creek bottom, I could shoot him.
Born in the Mount Rushmore state, Spomer is back on native soil and hoping for a home field advantage on this Winchester World of Whitetail.
Gee, that's a nice 5x.
Yeah, that is a beautiful buck.
He's wide, isn't he?
300 yards. He's a cuter, for sure.
We've got him. If he comes into that gap by those cedar trees there, I think I might have a crack at him.
There he's moving again.
Yep, here he comes.
Wait till he gets to that opening and stop him before you shoot.
That's it. Here goes. Ready?
Yeah.
Winchester's World of Whitetail.
Yeah, let's just get up against this cedar here, set up and do some glassing.
Yeah, I can see that field pretty good from here. I see several deer out there. Too far away to tell what they are.
Yep. Just group over to the left here. Let me take a look at those. Oh, there's a pretty nice one.
Got a nice one?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. On the left?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice buck, Kevin. That's in that 150 class anyway.
Yeah.
They probably came out of these draws?
Most likely, yeah.
And that's where we're gonna go after them in the morning?
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
They'll probably still be out in those fields at first light, and we'll be able to watch them come down in.
But I'll tell you what, if the wind keeps up like this tomorrow, I'd just as soon get a 200-yard shot than a 3.
This is familiar hunting territory to Winchester World of Whitetail's South Dakota-born Ron Spomer, and to the native hunters who discovered it centuries before.
I don't know, it looks like great game country to me, and it looked like great game country to the Dakota Sioux about 300 years ago when they moved from the woodlands of Minnesota onto the plains and prairies of South Dakota. The horse made it possible for them to hunt bison. Well, agriculture today makes it possible for us to come to the same place and hunt whitetails. Whitetails in South Dakota have always been a big feature of this landscape. But with the advent of agriculture and the growing of trees, it's really become a whitetail paradise. And they've got some huge bucks running around this country these days. We're gonna find out how big they get and how many there are on this week's episode of Winchester World of Whitetail.
Spomer is outside Gregory in southern South Dakota, and to help him find where the whitetail are roaming, he's hunting with well-known Double K guide service.
Even though I grew up in South Dakota and learned to hunt deer in place just like this, the rolly hills, the grassland hills that lead to the Missouri River, this will not be without its challenges. Deer numbers are up in South Dakota, but so is hunting pressure. And the landowners have condensed their property, so you've got to know the right places to hunt, figure out which grain fields they're feeding on, and then which draws and hills they're bedding in. That's why we use an outfitter. Double K Outfitters has got the leases, they've got all the landowners lined up. All we have to do is go where they show us, stay within the boundaries, and hunt. We've also got a challenge with the drought. They had a big drought here like they did across much of the country, and places have turned to dust. How's that going to affect the crops? How's that going to affect their feeding areas? So lots of glassing, find the deer in the big country. Finally, we've got weather. It's supposed to do a little of everything this year. We're gonna get big winds and hot temperatures, unusually hot. But we're also gonna have a cold front come through, maybe some rain, maybe even some snow, and probably some more wind. That's always a challenge in the open country. So finding the deer, getting on the right property, cutting them off, those will be our big challenges. But the rut's on, and it should be active. We should have bucks chasing does, and that'll help a lot.
Double K outfits in both South Dakota and Nebraska. And already this year, Spomer scored with them in the Cornhusker State on a rutting 8-pointer.
Wow, it's a slow day today. But this is a great place to be sitting during the rut because bucks are chasing does and there's a little bit of a funnel right down this drainage. Man, that brush pocket over there looks hot. There's got to be deer in there. Just come out of there. There he is. Yeah, That's a legal buck. Oh, Mac, he's going. Stop there, buddy. Oh yeah, he has no idea I'm here. Here goes. Ready? Yeah! Looked like a heart shot. Woo, baby! Thank goodness I was ready. See anything?
Yeah, there's some blood over here.
Got some?
Yep.
Hey, there he is. I'm up under the cedar.
That's a nice buck.
Yeah, looks like a good 3-year-old. Not the 4 I prefer to take, but beggars can't be choosers on the last day. There we go! Whose idea was this, shooting this deer over here?
Now, with Double K guide Joe McDougall, Spomer's hunting north of the Nebraska state line. It's the first evening, and time to get some scouting in.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. He just turned his head. Nice, that's a 150 class or better. Yeah, 5x5. It might be 4 on one side, but I think I saw the other point. He's waiting on that doe. He thinks she's about ready, I think. Nah, it's a 4x4, but he's heavy. You got a lot of bucks like that around here, or is that the biggest one you've seen?
There's some bigger ones, but...
Bigger than that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that'll keep my hopes up. No, that guy comes within 300 yards of me, he's in trouble.
They get to be nice bucks, but not the truly huge ones.
Yeah, they're just tough to make a booner out of 8 points instead of 10.
Yeah, real tough.
It's a good looking deer though. That would be hard to turn down. A big old 4x4. Ay, ay, ay.
With evening coming on, Spomer's encouraged by the look of the deer he spotted with Joe. Both hunter and guide certainly have a place to start out at in the morning.
There's one right over there.
Oh, he looks pretty heavy.
4x4 heavy beams.
He's gonna come right down below us. If he comes in that opening in the trees right down there on the creek bottom, I could shoot him.
Last night's scouting turned up some good bucks. Now, Spomer and guide Joe McDougall hope they can spot a shooter on this Winchester World of Whitetail.
Boy, Joe, that's not quite as active as I thought it was going to be with all those feed field deer we saw last night.
No, it's way too hot for a lot of midday movement. It'd be like us running around the way we're dressed right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to run anywhere. I'm going to take some clothes off. This is crazy for November deer season in South Dakota. Hot.
There's one right over there on the left side of that fence.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty nice one, too.
Oh, he looks pretty heavy.
4x4 heavy beams.
Yeah, that's not a bad little buck right there.
We just got to wait for him to jump the fence here in front of us. He needs to be on the right side.
Yeah, this fence is the boundary, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad shot if he comes to that fence.
Mm-hmm.
Let's size him up. What do you put him at? Give me a rough score.
Oh, he's probably, I'm going to say 135-ish, maybe 140. That mask can be a little deceiving at times.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to break 140, though.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I'm probably not crazy about him then. Not on the first day. I mean, you've got better deer than that here, don't you?
For sure.
He's heavy, though.
Yeah, it's kind of unique how heavy his beams are.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, he's working his way over this way.
Yeah, he's playing a game just the way we want him to.
Yeah, it's supposed to get colder for tomorrow, so.
That'll help. There'll be a lot more activity, and that rut's kicking in big, man.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get more action when this cools down. That'll be the ticket, man.
Practice makes perfect, but there's a right time and place for the kind of practice that can mean the difference between a trophy and coming home empty-handed, as Spomer knows.
Hey, if you hunt and don't see a deer, it's a little frustrating because you don't get to use your rifle. And if you do see a buck and get him with one shot, you only get one shot a season. Don't give in to the urge to shoot stumps and rocks and disturb all the wildlife. Save your shooting time for the off season and do a lot of it. People who practice shooting in real shooting situations, real hunting situations, not just the target range, are the best hunting shots. So get out in a pasture or a farm field somewhere where you can shoot at varying distances and emulate a hunting situation. Vary it as if you were in the woods, and that's what will make you a better hunting shot. You know the only thing better than getting to hunt whitetails all fall? Getting to hunt them in a brand new Ram Outdoorsman truck. Aside from this powerful Hemi engine that gets exceptional gas mileage, 18 to 22 miles on the highway, what I really like about this dependable Ram is this seat. Of all things, I never thought it would be a seat that really impressed me. I can adjust this seat so many ways. Seat down in the front, tip it up, back for a leg groom, or forward. So I can cruise down the road for 800 miles in a day if I have to and arrive fresh and ready to hunt. Gotta love that ram seat.
Scouting and spotting haven't shown Ron and Joe the buck to pull the trigger on. But Ron's history of hunting in South Dakota has taught him the value of patience.
Oh, I hope that wind goes down. South Dakota means wind, but it also means deer. You wouldn't know this being a youngster, but back in the late 60s and 70s when I started hunting this country, you didn't have nearly this much brush cover, and you didn't have nearly this many deer, or this quality. I mean, if we saw like that 4x4 that just went through here, if we had seen him back then, he'd have been like the buck of the month.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, everybody had been after that. I like this draw. This is a good spot.
Yeah, it really is. They kind of funnel right through, right off the feed fields and then come through. This is like a pinch point here.
I could see how that would work. In fact, he's coming down there right now. He's gonna come right down below us.
Yeah, right through the creek bottom.
And behind those trees now. If he comes in that opening in the trees right down there on the creek bottom, I could shoot him. Here he comes. Oh yeah, look at that. Right through that little opening. That's nice. But first day, South Dakota, nah, I don't think so. Glad I don't have to shoot him. That's a good looking deer though.
Yeah, he's a nice one. He'll look better next year.
He looks pretty good this year. I hope somebody else doesn't shoot him. There goes a doe squirting through that little thicket over there.
Yeah, keep an eye. That's
They're moving.
That's kind of a area where I'd expect to see a buck go through there. Well, it's getting pretty warm.
Getting pretty late too. I haven't seen anything move for quite a while now.
No, I think they're bedded down for the day. Let's head back.
Think you can scare up a sandwich or something?
I think so.
Spomer may come to regret passing up the first day buck, but he's willing to bet that a better quality deer will be his before time on this hunt runs out.
Gee, that's a nice 5x.
Yeah, that is a beautiful buck.
He's wide, isn't he?
300 yards. He's a cuter, for sure.
We've got him. Think I'll shoot him.
Ron Spomer's overcome the temptation of lots of good, but not great South Dakota bucks. The odds seem on his side, though, that the one is out there.
Now this is a sort of whitetail hunting challenge I can live with. My biggest challenge here in South Dakota turns out to be which buck to shoot. This is great. I can't believe how many bucks are in this country, and they're chasing does all day. So my biggest challenge has turned out to be living through the cold, which isn't too bad, and finding the big buck I want to shoot. Decisions. I love hard decisions.
Having been shown the land by guide Joe McDougall, native South Dakota son Ron Spomer's going solo to see if his old tricks will produce a trophy buck.
Big woods of South Dakota. You don't think of South Dakota as having big woods, and you're right, because it really doesn't. This is a very small patch. It just looks big because its relationship to the prairie makes it a very special spot. This is a riparian habitat in South Dakota along a small stream. Giant cottonwood trees and some old elms, it looks like. This woodland provides habitat not just for whitetails, but for cottontails, for tree squirrels, and for a heck of a lot of songbirds. Riparian habitat in a dry state like South Dakota is of critical importance to wildlife.
As Ron returns to the hunting ways of his youth, he's on the lookout for telltale signs of big bucks, and it's not long before he finds what he's looking for.
A good-sized rub is always an encouraging sign, but out in the wide open prairies and grasslands, where do you find them in a place like this? Even if we're on a county road by an isolated tree, we'll get buck rubbing. Why? Well, out in this country where you've got miles between your trees, every tree counts. A buck will go from, say, a grove of trees like that to the next grove, which could be a half to a mile or even 2 miles away. He'll pass every big tree he sees along the way. It's just like a magnet to him. So pay attention. Little things out here make a big difference.
Day 2 of the hunt, and there hasn't been any shortage of deer. The only thing missing is a buck big enough, so Ron has no question about taking it.
We've got deer coming off of a feed field on the other side of this canyon, filtering down into the trees. We're gonna watch this bottom right down there for 100 yards away. We got him walking back to the left. got some nice tall rack. Nice G2s. Very nice. If he were a 5x5, I'd shoot him. There's another buck coming in with those two bedded over by the thicket. I bet you he's gonna get him up. He comes a little closer, I'm gonna give him a careful look. He's pretty nice. Hey, that doe just moved under that lone cedar there. I think it's a 4x. Heavy, but not real wide. He's a good deer, but not outstanding. That's what's nice about this peak of the rut like this. They just move all day. Could do without this wind, but it covers us anyway. They've got no clue we're up here talking. Visually, they're preoccupied with one another, and this wind keeps your voice down. You don't have to worry about talking out loud. I love it.
There's a deer way over there.
Oh, man, way over.
That's a buck.
That's not a bad, looks maybe a tall 4x4.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say.
Doesn't have great mass, but he's
a little thin.
I'd say a 3-year-old.
Gonna be a heck of a buck next year.
Oh yeah.
Woo. Got one?
He's right over there. See his rack.
Yeah. See a shooter?
Days of waiting and glassing and passing up smaller bucks may be about to come to an end, as Ron and Joe at last have a trophy South Dakota whitetail in sight.
He's coming down into the trees now. He's wide, isn't he? Looking a little short-tined. He is a 5x though. 300 yards, about 320. Let's see if he comes out down here lower. He's a good 150 class. Gee, that's a nice 5x.
Yeah, that is a beautiful buck.
He's a cuter, for sure. We've got him. I think I'll shoot him. Yep, here he comes.
Wait till he gets to that opening and stop him before you shoot.
If he comes into that gap by those cedar trees there, I think I might have a crack at him. Ready?
Yep.
Winchester World of Whitetail host Ron Spomer knows that with all the gear available for a whitetail hunter, a simple set of shooting sticks might be the most valuable.
Good morning, class. This morning's lesson is on the versatility of the portable shooting stick. Stony Point makes several versions of a shooting stick. This is my favorite because it's so lightweight. The portability is extra portable because you can take these jointed poles apart like a tent pole. I generally keep it out because it's hardly any trouble carrying it. I can poke at things with it, so I just keep it like this. The beauty of these things is in their versatility. If you have to shoot at a downhill angle, for instance, you plop down and spread the stick to shoot lower. If you have to shoot higher, you pull it together. Much more versatile than some of the fixed position sticks. Just incredibly versatile, lightweight, hardly costs anything. It's sort of the bird dog for big game hunters. It's there to assist you, and boy, does it ever do the trick.
Days of glassing and waiting for the right deer may be about to come to a close for Ron and South Dakota guide Joe McDougall as a 5x5 walks into range.
He's coming down into the trees now. He's wide, isn't he? He is a 5x though. 300 yards, about 320. Let's see if he comes out down here lower. He's coming right down into the trees.
Oh yeah.
Still in the trees. He's coming right over here. Look at that, like he's got a purpose. Too much brush in the way right now.
Yep. Just keep our eyes on that. He should work his way right through there. Yeah.
Yeah, if he gets another 100 yards, he's dead. We've got him. I bet he'll come out right down here in this bottom where all those deer have been going through. They must have scrapes down there or something.
Yeah.
Just be ready. I see antlers.
Yeah.
Can't get a shot behind all that stuff.
He'll come out in the open. Just be patient. He'll either come out in the open towards the fence or he'll come down in the bottom.
All right. Oh, there's his head sticking out from behind that cedar. No, he's got to come out more than that. Too many branches. Here he comes.
Yeah, he's moving.
He's coming across. He's just standing behind those trees now. He's looking for somebody. If he comes into that gap by those cedar trees there, I think I might have a crack at him.
There he's moving again.
Yep, here he comes.
Wait till he gets to that opening and stop him before you shoot.
Stop there, buddy. That's it. Now stop. Here goes. Ready?
Yep. Good shot.
Turn right down.
He went right down.
Oh, that's a nice buck.
Good shot.
He is not twitching.
No, didn't move a muscle.
Eye on the shoulder here, probably hit him in the neck.
Yep.
That's about 200 yards, 180, right in there.
It's a good shot in this wind.
Whoa, that was sweet. All right.
Well, let's head down there and
We'll
take
get
a
it.
look at him. There he is right there. Boy, he's nice.
I don't know if he's nice. It's not much to see here. Holy mackerel. He's coming out. Now he's out from under that tree. I can appreciate him. My goodness. That's a great buck. God, I am impressed with South Dakota deer. I mean, we didn't have deer like this when I was a kid.
Yeah, I guess from what people tell me, I haven't been here that long, but they say just in the last 10 years or so, they've
Really come on, huh?
numbers and the numbers of quality bucks have really increased.
Here's that spread. See, a little bit past his ears. I'm liking that. Balance is really nice. And he's carried his mass so well out through
He
here.
does.
Yeah. That's a good South Dakota whitetail. That's probably one of the better ones I've gotten out of South Dakota.
Yeah,
In a long time, too.
Good.
Beauty. You're doing it right, whatever you're doing. No fences, no feeders, no mineral supplements, no genetic manipulation. Real deer.
Real deer, that's
Real
for
deer
sure.
for real people.